Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our virtual Reclaim 13 studios. And thank you for taking the time this evening to be with us. My name's Chris Boss. I'm the Director of Development here, and we're excited and so grateful that you're with us. The Reclaiming Voices Survivor Art Show is designed to give a voice to the experiences of survivors of sexual abuse or sexual exploitation, using their own personal, creative, artistic style to be able to tell their story. By providing this safe space for individual expressions, we hope that we can inspire our community, that we can promote healing, and empower those who wish to have their voices heard. The event this evening welcomes both professional and aspiring artists, as well as anonymous submissions. We've got poetry, visual arts, videos, and so much more. And we're excited to be able to share it all with you tonight. Our first set comes from an artist named Elizabeth. She said that art is a visual expression of her journey and reminds her that she is not defined by her past. Don't we all need that reminder? That art reminds her that she is a survivor and she is not defined by the pain. And following her pieces, we'll have a couple of segments of poetry and from two different artists, and then much more to follow after that. So relax, kick back, and enjoy and engage with us this evening.
I wonder if you knew. You think I chose this. I chose to be with him, so I must want to stay with him. I chose not to leave him, so I deserved the abuse I got. I chose not to take your help, so you stopped caring. But I wonder if you knew that I learned early in life that hurt comes with love. I freeze when the fear comes and I cannot choose a different way. After the fear is gone, the memory of what I am supposed to fear goes away. I wonder if you knew, if you would see me differently. I wonder if you knew, if you would still try to help me. I wonder if you knew, if you would still see the me worth caring for.
Why didn't you leave? You're young, beautiful, and very smart. You live in Chicago, one of the biggest, well-known cities in the US. Why am I doing this to myself? According to this Facebook post I saw the other day from some website, it said nicotine, weed, and/or alcohol isn't a gateway drug. Trauma is the gateway drug. Childhood abuse is the gateway drug. That post really got me thinking. I've always been good at school, always been a respectful student, but was it my childhood that helped me fall in love with this man? Was it my childhood who steered me into popping pills when weed didn't get me high anymore? Or was it my trauma who made me agree to dropping out of school to make more money? They say that growing up in an abusive household affects the kids by their behavior, stress, shame, lying, fear of abandonment, empathy, and etc. School was fun growing up. I always looked forward to going every morning. But the worst part was that fear that I got when it was time to go home. Once I walked in the door, yelling, arguing, dishes breaking, I would go straight to my room. Dinner time would be the worst. I would walk in the kitchen and find my mom on the floor, with boyfriend standing over her. That feeling of shame used to hit me hard, but the worst thing I hated about going home was bedtime. Her boyfriend used to climb into bed with me to play games and tell secrets I could never tell anybody about. That's when I would feel the worst feeling in the world: abandonment. There would be nobody there to protect me or save me from the games that was being played or the secrets that were being told. I kept the things that happened to myself for years to save my mother from the pain she might have endured, but the only feeling I felt was guilt. The attention given, emotions felt that usually result in poor communication, poor decision making, and low self-esteem. My childhood wasn't the best. I didn't get as much love as I should have, but my boyfriend makes sure that I get the love I need, and he makes me like it. He loves me. I mean, he's the only person that has my best interests at heart, and he's always right. We make money. That's why I dropped out of school, because it gets in the way of our money, and he was right. Sometimes I pop pills to get through my jobs. Sometimes we have slow days, and yeah, he gets mad and hits me. Sometimes. But I deserve it. I should have listened. But he doesn't mean it. He always tells me that when I get older and when I make us enough money, that we're going to get a big house on the beach and have kids and be happy, and I don't ever have to work again, that what I'm doing is only temporary. He loves me, right? Because of this childhood trauma, most kids, victims, end better or worse. I don't even know why I'm thinking about this. I always get inside my head when I see these types of posts, but at least I'm doing better than my mama did, right?
Our next artist is Marianne, and these pieces of artwork that she's submitted either reflect her own journey or those of the many clients that she's seen in therapy over the past 20 years. She's a mental health therapist and has had the opportunity and privilege to help many men and women go through the process of trauma recovery. Recovery and trauma is very much like grief and is a process very unique to each individual. Sexual abuse, physical abuse, drug abuse, mental and emotional abuse is what human trafficking is about on so many different levels. And human trafficking is all around us, even when we might not be aware of this great evil. And these upcoming pieces reflect that. Thank you, Marianne, for the work you do and for sharing these pieces with us.
Eye of the Soul. This piece of artwork reflects the brokenness and wounds that is carried within a soul. Buried feelings are intense and are beyond words. It reflects hopelessness. One side of the eye is always looking to see what will happen, and the other side of the eye represents terror, remembering the mental and emotional torture that did happen, waiting to see what comes next, feeling terror in ways you and I may never feel or quite understand. Drowning. This piece of artwork reflects hopelessness and despair. Many in human trafficking feel that they are drowning in their own tears, and there is no way out as they feel sucked in or stuck where they are. Abandoned and alone. This piece of artwork reflects human abandonment and shames too indescribable to mention. Confusion. This piece of artwork reflects a little girl's vulnerability to those she trusted. She is so confused. She holds her head because she doesn't know what to do. Her face is sad, and her eyes are lifeless. She has secrets but cannot tell. Who will believe her? Voices. This piece of artwork reflects when a person disconnects because of the horror they have gone through in their reality. They may become parts of other people and hear different voices to survive. Parts of them cannot speak. Parts of them are lifeless and so wounded. Their heart experiences brokenness time and time again.
God's plan. You have a plan. I was born into an average family, a working dad, and a stay-at-home mom. They both followed you. You have a plan. At the age of 5, my neighbor altered that plan. He only thought of himself, his evil needs. Shh, came the words. Something bad will happen to your parents if you tell. You have a plan. Now I am confused. Who is this person I'm reading about that speaks of love, trust, and submission? Follow me. I can't see you, not touch you. Yet at the same time, I'm pulled into garage, taken underneath porches, being trained to fear. My neighbor stands in front of me. I will show you the way. You have a plan. My mom and dad notices the changes in me, so desperate they cried for help. Lord, help us. You have a plan. I was so far gone with lies, drugs, alcohol, men. Someone please take care of me. Someone. At the same time, my mother's health is deteriorating. Did my secret get out? Did I do this to my mother? You have a plan. I got married. I thought I could start out new. Happiness, a house, children, friends. The haunting memories kept coming back. My mother's disease is getting worse. I need to keep the lies to myself. Will this help her? You have a plan. 3 men walk in the restaurant I work at. They told me about you. This was the time I heard you. This is the beginning of understanding your plan. You have a plan. You showed me how you were always there, using people and places to show me the way. I realized I looked at you through evil eyes. My heart and soul have been longing for your plan. You have a plan. Now I know. Love the unlovable. See beyond the surface. Forgive the unforgivable. Now I have your plan. Peace.
Our next set is brought to us by an artist named Olivia. She said her story is quite long, so she shortened it for this purpose. And this is Olivia's story. Well, I was sexually assaulted at age 6, and I don't remember much about it. It was, unfortunately, just the beginning. From age 12 to 17, my stepbrother sexually assaulted me whenever I would go and visit my father. In 2018, I finally came forward about it on my half-sister's birthday, and it was terrifying because I did not want her to succumb to the same fate as I was. Now, present day, my father has stopped talking to me because he doesn't believe me. He's cut off all communication I had with my sister, who is now 12. And it's been 2 years since I came forward, but I don't regret it. And I think you'll see in Olivia's pieces how true that is. And following that, we have another artist who submitted some pieces entitled From the Darkness.
Oh no, here I go, waking up in a sweat, breaking down my tears as they fall down my face. Memories flashing before me as if my life is replaying before my eyes. As they cry, salty screams release from my lips, shaking as if winter was back, shaking like his hands were there. They were there. To the heart that feels broken, to the mind that feels tired, to the voice that struggles to speak, to the voice that cannot be heard, to the voice that the world has attempted to silence, find your strength, find the courage, reclaim your voice and say what you need to. Do not be silent, be loud, be unapologetic, be free.
Me, the woman. You stole my innocence at such a young age and drove away my spirit, my spirit. What I once knew as a child was no longer to be my world. Your actions nearly killed me. Only later in life did I truly begin to understand the depth of this pain and the destruction of my soul, the control this had over my total self-worth. It was nearly too much to bear. To begin again, the grieving for my losses again, the rage and the anger and all that was ugly to me then and now again. But you can no longer hurt me. I am a strong woman, a woman who through it all has survived and learned to forgive others and myself, to love again and to begin to trust again, slowly but for sure, to live life forward and in the present, in and out of control at the healing process. My gentle strength will hold me, and I play, yes, I play, through all of the heartaches and the pain. I will find a new place in life, fresh and unharmed by history. Me, myself, my precious little girls, and my beautiful young women who forever will be in my care. We are brave, together, forever, safe, loved.
There's been a lot of heaviness in some of these pieces, and rightfully so. But if you look and listen carefully, there's an underlying message of restoration and hope. And I think our next piece represents this beautifully. And this is from the artist, quote, "I'm courageous and eager to share my healing and journey of acceptance. This represents how something broken and destroyed turned into a miraculous warrior." Enjoy this next piece.
If I told you my story, you would hear hope that wouldn't let go. And if I told you my story, you would hear love that never gave up. And if I told you my story, you would hear life, but it wasn't mine. If I should speak, then let it be of the grace that is greater than all my sin, of when justice was served and where mercy wins, of the kindness of Jesus that draws me in. Oh, to tell you my story is to tell of you.
Guys, thank you for being here tonight. I want to welcome our executive director, Cassandra. Thank you for taking the time with us tonight and to share just a little bit about the journey of this art show and your heart behind it all as well, too. So, can you share with us, the story behind how this art show started?
Yeah, so we had our first art show last year, and it started though because we had Reclaim 13. We have many different volunteer teams, and with the idea of engaging people in a variety of different ways. And one of our teams is our creative arts team. And that team, as it started, was really just people who had an interest in using their creative talent to be able to somehow impact this issue. And so we would do all sorts of different art things. We were teaching each other art things, and it was sort of just more sort of creatively focused in that way. And one day, one of our participants on that team, she's actually a survivor volunteer, and she came to us, and she had gone to this show, this art show about human trafficking. And what she commented on was the fact that it was a show about human trafficking, but it wasn't, it was about human trafficking and experiences that she herself had encountered, but not by survivors. And so she asked a question. She said, I wondered when I watched this, where was my voice in this? And so that was kind of the inspiration for our very first art show. We had no idea what we were doing, but really wanted to honor what she was saying, which was that she hadn't seen her voice expressed. And so there's so much meaning behind the name of the art show, which is Reclaiming Voices, about helping survivors to be able to reclaim their stories and reclaim their voice in this whole in the problem of abuse and exploitation.
That's amazing. I love the heart behind it. I love that it started from, a volunteer, somebody saying, "Where's my voice?" And speaking of that, and with that, can you share with us, with your background and your professional background and the work that you do, the importance of art and these expressions, in that healing process?
Yeah, and that's the other part of this whole the concept of reclaiming voices. So much of trauma, particularly childhood trauma, and the types of trauma that we deal with, which is sexual abuse and exploitation, is not experienced in ways that have words attached to it. Either kids are pre-verbal, they're not able to put words to it, or just because of trauma itself, it's such a experience. It's sort of an experiential trauma that happens in the body. And so for many survivors, art is a beautiful way to be able to express something that are beyond words. And so you see in the art show, last year we had all sorts of things, from collage to paintings to poetry to abstract artwork to just a variety of dance, singing songs. So just a variety of different ways that trauma survivors found to be able to express what they had been through.
It's amazing. And, my first experience with this right now too is just, it's blowing me away. And you can really sense and feel their heart through each and every one of these pieces. And it's incredible. And I know they're grateful for it. And I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity to participate in this too. So thank you for taking the time. I know this isn't the ideal situation or what we had planned
No.
to do, but thankful for technology in the midst of this. Before we go though, any last words, anything you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, we just appreciate you taking the time to interact with what you're about to see, and any comments that you can give, particularly words of encouragement to the survivors who have so willingly put themselves out there in this way to be able to share with us experiences that are often experienced alone in isolation, to be able to, for all of us as a society, bear witness to the tragedies of childhood trauma, I think is really important in this. So thank you.
Thank you for taking the time. And again, you can find out more about Cassandra, more about the heart behind this at reclaim13.org as well. So thank you again for taking the time, and we look forward to connecting with you soon.
Thank you.
Well, we hope that this evening has moved you and inspired you, and that regardless of your situation, you know that there is hope. We have a very unique piece coming up that is for sure to put a smile on your face, as well as a final message of gratitude and hope. And both of those are from our girls over at Cherish House. But we want to thank the DuPage Foundation for sponsoring our event this evening. Without them, this would not be possible. And when this show is done, you can go over to reclaimingvoices.org and see not only these pieces, but the full works that were submitted to us. We didn't have time this evening to be able to share everything with you, but we wanted to make sure that those artists' voices were heard. So you can go over to reclaimingvoices.org and spend some more time engaging in their amazing stories and their heartfelt work. So thank you guys for taking the time to be with us this evening, and enjoy these final two pieces.
Handprints. A handprint symbolizes many things, but two important things that it represents is strength and protection. Reclaim 13 doesn't just provide us with love and nurture, they help give us our strength back. Reclaim 13 helps us come back stronger than ever before. Cherish House protects us from the evil that tries to harm us. Those that try to cause us harm can't because we are strong and protected. Reclaim 13 reclaims what was lost and now is found again.